Good evening, AGDQ. I hope you're ready for some Yakuza. And this is as Yakuza as it gets. This is the self-titled. This is where it all started. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, I've played the first Yakuza. I've played Yakuza Kiwami. No. This is something very, very different and very...
Unique.
Unique. Very, very unique.
Unique is one way to word it, yeah.
Yep. I'm BigNoNo. I am a Yakuza speedrunner, as you can probably tell by the fact that I'm here speedrunning a Yakuza game. And I have with me two of the best Yakuza speedrunners on the couch to help commentate this run. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Panda. I play Dead Souls. Yeah, you should play Dead Souls.
Shh, don't tell him that.
I'll never play anything else again.
Hey, it's a good game.
It is a good game. It's a good game.
I'm Froob. I speedrun every Yakuza. I'm always involved in Yakuza. And this is Bunchan.
Yeah.
Chilling, having a good time.
We do love Bunchan. Okay, so there's a lot to say, so we should probably just get started. So time will begin on difficulty selection. We run this category on the normal difficulty. So I will count us down from 3. So 3, 2, 1, go. And much like any Yakuza game, the first Yakuza has a lot of cutscenes. Luckily, in this game, we don't have to mash to skip cutscenes. We just hold the start button. Unfortunately, every future Yakuza game has a very nice quality of life feature where you can hold R1 and confirm to skip decks automatically. This game is the one game that did not have it. So I will have to do a lot of this. A lot of alternate mashing on confirm and cancel. Now, also typical for a Yakuza game, we begin with a tutorial to teach us the basics of combat. In a lot of Yakuza games, the tutorial is a very heavy reset point because being optimal relies on getting multi-hits on enemies. Luckily, in this game, you don't need to do that. It just requires you to do single combos on single enemies. So this should go by pretty easily. And yeah, definitely the most consistent tutorial in the Yakuza series. Now, Froob, I believe this is your favorite part of the run?
Yeah, absolutely. The first enemy here is Hirata of Peace Finance, which is an absolute run killer in K1. But as you're about to see, BigNoNo is going to do something very nice and easy and just take out Hirata instantly. OG1 has actually like really nice points to it over like some of the later games, or specifically Kiwami that it's a remake of. But as you can see, the game is also making BigNoNo do every single tutorial in the game. Thankfully, Yakuza don't require you to do this, but BigNoNo is obviously going to have to hit enemies, and what you saw there with the gut punch is that even though BigNoNo hit multiple enemies at the same time, the older games don't count multiple enemies hit at the same time, or at least OG1 doesn't. So unfortunately, BigNoNo's going to have to do this individual enemies.
It also did the thing where sometimes you will do a combo and it just won't count your combo at all for the count, so I had to do an extra one. Thanks, OG1. I appreciate that.
That's going to happen a few times.
Yeah, so basically after this weapon phase, our next goal is going to be to get 2 enemies up in the corner here for the heat move phase. And if someone from the couch could take this moment to explain what heat moves are and what we're going to do in this part, I would be very thankful.
Sure. Heat moves are basically it's like a special move after Kiryu has done amount of damage. He has a bar that fills up in the top, and he'll start glowing blue. So basically what we're going to do is get them in the corner, like Nono said, and then we're going to grab them and use the heat move against the wall 6 times because reasons.
Yes, they really want to make sure you know how to do heat moves. And the gut punches we use here, and it's going to be good to remember these combos because they will be very, very useful in this game. And, oh, sorry, I got a bit confused there. Yeah, I think we're fine.
It's a better position, yeah. One thing to mention about the heat system in OG1 whilst we're in this tutorial, your heat will dissipate so fast in this game. It is ridiculous how quickly it will go. But one nice thing is that if a fight is ended with a heat attack, that heat will actually not get used up. In certain fights like the next one coming up, we're going to want to start with as much heat as possible. And thankfully, with BigNoNo being at full heat, BigNoNo's not going to have to start this next fight with like a punch just to keep his heat from completely disappearing.
Yes, in fact, in general, in this game, and this is a unique thing, this is not in any of the future Yakuzas, your last attack does not affect your heat. So also if you end the fight with a regular attack, it doesn't add to your heat, which is also something that's important to remember sometimes. But yeah, heat moves are also very important to our upgrade route because in this game, every time you use a heat move, you gain 30% of the experience that the enemy would normally give you when defeated. So it's going to be very important for some of our early upgrades to get some heat moves off. So right there, we get the heat move for both time and XP. Now, OG1 is really nice in that there's actually quite a few skips in this game. Specifically right here, I'm going to skip talking to my least favorite characters in the entire series, the very, very useless information dealers, Aoki and Tamura. Every time the game doesn't know how to direct you into the next objective, these guys just come up and tell you to just go to next location. So right here, I'm going to hug the wall and run by very, very quickly, and hopefully they will not talk to me. See, they're trying to, but I'm just gonna keep on moving. There's a couple of skips coming up, but until we get to that point, I think we can actually have our first incentive of the run. Sorry, our first donation.
Oh, you got it. Well, speaking of incentives, we've got that bonus secret boss fight incentive, which is already $8,600 towards that $10,000 incentive goal. And we just started. Twitch chat, everyone out there, you are absolutely killing it.
Very, very nice. Yeah, this is the information dealers again. Again, we don't have to talk to them. Very nice point for OG1. I will not say many things for OG1 over Kiwami, but this is definitely one of the perks. Right here as well, I'm going to get our first upgrade. This first upgrade is called Heat Force. And what Heat Force does is when we're in heat mode and we are glowing blue, we will get a 30% damage buff, which is a very, very nice bonus and is going to be really important to the run. Sadly, this kind of means that using heat moves is not very good a lot of the time. In fact, this game has a bunch of ways in which it disincentivizes you using heat moves. Froob mentioned just how fast heat dissipates in this game, which is kind of an issue. But right here in this fight, we're going to fight a guy called Forks Guy, which I think will be very self-explanatory once you see him. And this guy used to be a big reset point because for XP, we used to grab him and heat move him, and this guy does not like being grabbed. Thankfully, we rerouted the upgrade route recently, and now we just uppercut this man until he stops interrupting us, and that's it. That's chapter 1. Now, okay, so, oh, by the way, I did forget to mention, you do have to mash to skip one kind of cutscene, which is the title card at the beginning of each chapter. But yeah, so as a result of no longer having to heat move Forks Guy, this is now the most consistent chapter 1 in the entire run. This will change very, very soon. Right here, we're going to go into another fight. This guy coming up here is called Abe, and he will pick a fight with us. And this is kind of an introduction to the concept of fight spawns in this game. So can I get someone from the couch to explain fight spawns, please?
Yeah, so fight spawns are going to be in potentially fixed locations. So every single fight spawn in the game is in an area that we know where they can turn up, but it's random whether or not they will actually spawn in. So by having good knowledge of where the fight spawns actually are, if they spawn in or if they don't spawn in, we can just make good lines and avoid literally every single fight in the game from every position that they can turn up. The downside is there is 1 or 2 fight spawns that are pretty hard to skip, and we will actually be going over them as we go through the run.
Yes, and right there what you saw is I used light attacks on Abe. The reason for that is for damage, to build up heat, and eventually we heat move him just to get some extra XP, and also because it's faster. The reason why I can't use uppercuts on Abe as I did on Forks Guy is that uppercuts will actually knock Abe down and prevent us from continuing the combo chain. And there is another combo we can use, which is gut punches, which never knocks enemies down. However, at this point in the run, gut punches don't really have very good DPS. We are going to do something about that in the next chapter. But for now, sometimes heat moves will just be the way to go.
We should also probably mention very quickly and briefly, yes, this game is in Japanese. There are multiple versions of OG 1 and 2. There's the originals on PS2, the PS3 version which BigNoNo is running on, and the Wii U version. In terms of quickest to fastest, PS3 is fastest, PS2 is then the next fastest, and the Wii U version exists.
Although the Wii U version has an exclusive New Game Plus mode, which
True.
was discovered recently by a runner called Dubiasu. Either way, Yuya here, he is a big problem because he really likes to block, so our combos are not very good against him. So for that reason, I'm going to use a strat that we're going to see a bunch of times during this run, where I will basically headbutt him for heat and damage, and once I have enough heat, I will heat move him against that wall, and this also gives us some extra XP, which is very nice. And hopefully, he just lets me grab him one more time. Sometimes he can get a very nasty wake-up grab here, but no, that was a good Yuya.
That was a really good Yuya.
Yeah.
We should also mention very briefly, you just saw the first instance of heat attack QTE follow-ups. In this game, they are all triangle with like one or two very rare exceptions. You cannot at all make any input once the heat attack is started. That also includes the camera or movement. If you do that, then you will fail the QTE, and you also have to do the QTE, like you have to know when the timing is because it can fail.
Yeah, you have to predict the future.
Very important in this game. Time is not linear in OG1. Right here in this fight, we're going to see the first usage of one king of the AI in this game, which is enemies in this game really do not like when there's any kind of elevation difference between you and them, and they will rush in to close that gap. So what this does is makes them all concentrate here on these, oh, I got knocked down. Here on these stairs, which makes it very easy for us to just combo them all together. And again, gut punches have a very, very wide hitbox, so this gives us some good DPS.
You'll also probably
alive?
notice that Yuya and Kazuki's damage ain't great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AI partners in this game don't do great damage, and for the most part, they just do more harm than good, which is something that future Yakuza games have been very faithful to. But yeah, that is the end of Chapter 2. Okay, and right here, this may be a surprise to people who have not played this game. We actually have a stealth section. Yes, OG1 has it all. So I'm going to move to the right here, taking a very wide line, and then I'm going to duck in through this group, and hopefully no one will see me. Nice. So we got past, and right here we're going to tell this guy that we're Kiryu Kazuma. He's going to ask the Kiryu Kazuma that murdered one of our patriarchs 10 years ago, and we're going to say, no, a different Kiryu Kazuma, and he's like, okay, cool. And yeah, the next fight is going to be in a bit, so I think we can sneak in one more donation here.
I would love to. We've got $25 from Waters of Borvo, who says, I would have to sing Bakamitai if I didn't donate for this run. Long live the Dragon of Dojima.
Bakamitai. Yes, so this guy right here is Yasuda. He's from a competing Yakuza group called the Omi Alliance. And the strat for Yasuda, this is very, very complex, so try to follow me. I'm going to spam combos on this guy and hope he doesn't knock me down. No, really, that's the strat. So let's see what he does. So far, so good. And he knocked me down. Now, the problem with an early knockdown is that it also blocks our heat buildup, so we don't get heat force, so the fight takes even longer. This fight is just really, really bad.
Not bad, boys.
Yeah, only one knockdown and one block, which is okay. And this gives us just enough XP to get our next upgrade, which is a longer combo. So this will allow us to do a 4 light attack combo and follow that up with a really nice spinning kick, which is going to be very, very useful. It's going to actually have better DPS than gut punches, but we're going to take care of that right now. By the way, here is the time save I found 2 weeks ago when practicing this run. So we used to have to go to the left of the stairs here to talk to the shop guy, but turns out you can just do this, and he will just stare up at us, which I think is really funny and also saves a couple of seconds, which, you know, every little thing helps. So,
He's just throwing the items upstairs to us, it's fine.
Exactly, just like tossing it over the railing. Okay, so for the perfect room fight here, I'm going to try to move in a way that's going to bait two enemies right next to each other, and this is also where we will see the spinning kick for the first time. Okay, one of them decided to block, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, see, that's cheating. I'm not okay with these guys blocking. But okay, could have gone a lot worse. At least no one knocked me down this time, which is nice. So now we're going into the courtyard fight. There are a lot of enemies out here, and there are a lot of big boys with lanterns out here who can really mess things up if we allow them to do so. So I take those two guys out with a combo. This guy right here, wall heat move. Again, the QTE follow-up is very sensitive, so you have to time this. Take out this guy, and you can see another lantern guy off in the distance. I'm going to let him do his second attack, because otherwise that would have gotten me. And we're just gonna throw him into the water. And apparently when you throw these guys in the water, they just decide to give up. That's just too much for them. Too humiliating to go on. All right here, I'm going to also throw this gentleman in the water. And now I'm going to equip the brass knuckles and go to town. And could someone from the couch please explain the beauty of brass knuckles in this game?
Do you mind if I jump in real quick before brass knuckles with something very exciting?
Sure, yeah.
I think we have an answer about what happened with that incentive. We have a $5,000 donation from, and this is not me describing them, this is their name, some rando, who simply says, kick his ass.
Will do.
And that means that we are less than $300 away from meeting that incentive, which is unreal. Anyone could snipe that at any moment. Y'all are doing so good.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You also got some exposure to the excellent camera system in this game right there. I picked up a safety heal that I don't normally pick up, and it caused some consequences. So yeah, I just very quickly duck into that one hallway just to... Ooh, okay, nice. Just to get those enemies to follow me into this room. This room has two big boys in it. They really like knocking me down. Hopefully they don't do that. I should say, getting knocked down like that isn't something we're going to have to deal with for much longer, at least not quite as much as we do now. But early on in the run, there's really not much we can do about this.
Perfect timing.
Yep.
Yeah, soon.
Thanks for illustrating my point. But yeah, once we're done with these guys, we are going to run for the door, and at that point, we don't really need to fight any other enemy until the boss. So we can get, I think, a few more donations in.
Gosh, I am so sorry. We have so many donations, first of all. Thank you, everyone. We've got $50 from, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Conquail. It says, woke up earlier than normal in order to watch this run live. Best of luck to you, all my friends on it, and the donation drive. And to my fellow Amon Clan fans, if you want to donate, then step up. Also, trans rights, less than 3.
Thanks a lot, Con. Appreciate you. Con is a valued community member.
Time for a couple more?
A quick one, yes. One more.
Real quick, $5 from Kat, who just says trans rights.
Trans rights, I concur. Okay, so Shimano. Shimano has an interesting gimmick in this game where you'll see as I attack him, there's this blue glow around him, which is his shield, and you basically just need to keep comboing him until he loses it, and in which case your light attacks do damage as well. And we're just going to wail on this man with gut punches until he stops bothering me. Well, not entirely true. He will bother me again, but just later in the run. And that's it. That's chapter 3.
I was going to say, as a quick explanation for the brass knuckles, you'll see where there with Kiryu's model, the brass knuckle is only on his right hand. BigNoNo did some testing and actually found out that the damage that's applied with the brass knuckles is only on right-handed attacks. So obviously any attack that uses the right hand, which unsurprisingly is the gut punches, do way more damage now. And so as BigNoNo was alluding to earlier, now our gut punches are pretty good.
Yes, and also the other thing that the brass knuckles do is they add a guard break effect to your attacks, to your right-hand attacks. So because the gut punch is left punch, right punch, the second light attack will guard break the enemy and open them up for the gut punch itself, which is really nice. They somehow made these things even more overpowered in Yakuza 2, but they're already pretty good in this game. But yeah, so this is a typical Yakuza design that this game has laid the template to. That generally in Chapter 3 is your big set piece that tests all your fight knowledge, and Chapter 4 is where the game fully opens up and lets you do sub-stories, side content. So this is typically in speedruns where we will do run a lot of errands, pick up a lot of extra items. So this is going to be a lot of walking around, so again, very good time for a whole bunch of donations.
Good news, we have a whole bunch of donations. We have $50 from Laver, I'm not sure.
Laver, yes.
Laver, who says, hey, No, always enjoy seeing your dedication to each run you do. And I'm excited that you're showing off another run at GDQ. Good luck on the run.
Thank you so much, Laver. Laver is one of our best runners. She has recently bopped me in Kiwami Legends, so we will have to do something about that. Really, really appreciate her, and yeah, thank you so much.
Ooh, I love to hear a gauntlet thrown on the stage. That's wonderful. We also have $25 from Panduhmonium, who says, hi from the couch.
Who's that?
Good luck.
I gotta stop here and say, Panda is just, we've met through Yakuza speedrunning, and she's just become one of my favorite people in the world, and we met at this GDQ for the first time, IRL, and it's been absolutely amazing. Love you a lot, Panda. Thanks for being here.
Love you too, No.
We've actually got love for everyone up here on the stage right now. We have $100 from Irrational Soup, who says, Froob is the biggest reason I got into Yakuza. His Kiwami 2 run inspired me to pick up Yakuza 0. And now I love the crazy adventures of the daddy of Dojima. Good luck, BigNoNo. Make Haruka proud.
Shoutouts to rugby, baby.
So back when I got into speedrunning and I got into Yakuza, I obviously looked for Yakuza speedruns, and I saw that some guy called Froob McGuffin is going to run Yakuza 3. Is going to run Yakuza 3 at a marathon, and I watched that run, and I was like, yeah, this looks really cool, and I followed him, and I think I got timed out on your stream within a week. But eventually I came back.
I had quite strict moderation back then.
And yeah, the rest is history. So I think Froob got many of us into Yakuza speedrunning and did a lot to really popularize this series in speedrunning circles. So good stuff. Yeah, appreciate you as well.
Appreciate it. I'm going to thank GDQ for that. Like, they gave our community, and they give like a lot of other communities a good chance to like showcase our stuff. There's a lot of Yakuza games that, you know, may or may not make up here to the big stage, Yakuza 5. But we've been given so many good opportunities, and like one of the nice things that I've been able to see, having been in this community for so long, is the ability of like so many different members to be able to do runs other than myself. Like obviously we've got BigNoNo, who's done K1 New Game Plus, is obviously doing OG1 any percent. We've had Tap do Gaiden like last year as well. Like the strength of the community should be shown on the basis of like having multiple members be able to show off their runs, and it brings me no end of joy that there are so many runners who are able to actually showcase runs, and I'm fairly certain in time maybe we'll see a Dead Souls from Panda.
One can hope. So a quick recap of what we've done here. I picked up a couple of coin lockers keys in the bola in that club we happened by. I also bought some dog food because we're about to meet the dog. And also a stamina axe and a couple of bottles of sake for later. Right here I'm going to equip one of the items I picked up from the lockers called the Angel Bell. The Angel Bell makes enemies less aggressive, and this upgrade that I'm getting right here is called Stability, which remember me repeatedly getting knocked down in Chapter 3?
I hate to alarm you, but we just hit that bonus boss fight incentive.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. I can't wait to show you that
I
fight.
saw this in practice. It's wild. You're going to love it.
Yes. And yeah, as I was saying, stability, I've alluded to this. When we have heat, stability makes it so we can't get knocked down. And between that and the Angel Bell, those are the only reasons this game is halfway runnable. Without those things, it would be very, very rough. But yeah, this fight, I call it the dog defense fight, because these guys are mistreating a dog, and we're having none of it. So we are going to defend the dog right here. Right here, I'm going to try and group these enemies up, try to gut punch them in groups to get just the max DPS I can get. I'm going to try and rope the higher HP enemies in. Oh, that's very good. Yes, stay right there. Very nice. Oh, I love it. Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Come back here
And we have
for this big one.
We have 2 fart jacket guys.
Yep. Yeah, do not adjust your set. If you see the guy with the white hoodie on the right-hand side, yeah, his hoodie says fart on it. As you do.
Honestly, I'd wear it.
Same. Why don't know why
Tyler
you haven't
Griff.
made it merch yet.
Yes, I was gonna say, if RGG made fart hoodies and just sold them, I would have like 3 of them immediately. All right, so this is pretty good. Everyone's grouped up, and yeah, that is the end of it. Oh, we ended with a close-up on the fart hoodie. Beautiful. That is exactly as things should be. Now, right here, you're going to see something. It's a big plot hole. It's something that should really alarm you if you're a dog owner. We're going to feed this dog. We're going to give it some dog food, but we don't have any water, and we don't have a plate from which it can drink that water, which makes no sense. You will notice if you're a dog owner. Kiwami took care of this plot hole and forces you to get the water for the dog. In this game, we just have to deal with it, but like 0 out of 10, -5 stars. Very, very bad game just for that. So coming up here, this is actually one of my favorite parts of the run, because outside of the fights, the most impressive tech, I think, in this run is the fight dodges. So other than fight spawns, there's some scripted overworld fights. We're going to see one of them on the left here. This guy's gonna just shout "Oi" and run towards us at a very weird line, so he's very easy to avoid. But right here, this is my favorite fight skip in the entire run. And could someone take over while I concentrate on doing this?
Sure. So basically what Nono is going to do here is he's going to get this guy's attention. He's going to run on the other side of the fence. And when he gets caught, he's going to walk basically around him and just leave.
See you later, buddy.
And that's actually way harder than it looks. He just makes it look easy.
Yeah, that's one you will have to practice for if you want to do OG runs.
It's also a really scary one because there are so many. There's like 6 enemies, and 2 of them are big boys. That fight takes forever if you don't get the skip.
And there's a sidestepper, I think, in that fight.
Yes, you are correct. Also, you may have seen me do a weird like circular motion out of the park. That's on purpose, because if you walk across the railing, if you walk like right up next to it, you can still get aggroed from across the railing, which makes no sense, but this is OG1. You shouldn't think logically. In fact, it's probably better not to think at all. I should say we're going to make a lot of fun about this game, because it is ridiculous. But
the best word for it is antiquated, unfortunately.
Yeah, like this is not a game. Like all Yakuza game, a lot of effort has been put into this game, and it's a very, very ambitious game. This is just the first one they made, and they didn't have a lot of time to fully tighten it up. So it does have a lot of quirks, but yeah, we do make fun just out of love, not out of malice.
Yeah, for one, like, really good, like, reference for this, in fights, and BigNoNo's been making this look really good so far, when you start attacking a combo, you cannot change direction. You are locked into the direction you are going. There is a Kamaki upgrade you can get later on in the game, which is actually by default unlocked in OG2, which makes that feel so much nicer from the beginning. But we're not going to be getting that upgrade in this run. So every time that BigNoNo is going into a combo against an enemy, he is trying to like push in a direction rather than like the Yakuza that you're used to, where you are going against the man instead.
Yeah, like other Yakuza games that they've actually finished making. But yeah, the movement in that room is kind of difficult, but I think that was okay. This is Hayashi. I despise this man. So Hayashi has a spin counter that he's going to try and use on us. The way you usually avoid having him do it is by just doing light attacks. But there you go, I did light attacks and he did it anyway. What can I say? It's just... This is OG1. I think I should mention something that I've come to call the OG1 asterisk. Anything I tell you about this game comes with an asterisk that just says, or maybe this will not happen. Because everything in this game has an exception. Nothing works 100% of the time. And you just gotta roll with it. You just gotta adjust. He's giving me a lot of spins.
That's a great example of just the directional attacking rather than, you know, the fact that BigNoNo hit Hayashi first.
Yeah, and I should explain
at the back.
Oh my God, he's in spin mania. Yeah, I should explain, and this is the end of chapter 4. I should explain every time Kiryu ends up attacking the wrong enemy. First of all, this game has a mechanic that sounds really clever if you've never played a video game, which is anytime that an enemy gets iframes, the game is like, oh, the enemy is no longer there. I should just have Kiryu attack a different enemy. And every time this happens and you want to go back to the enemy you attacked first, you just have to like drag Kiryu the other way just to make sure that he doesn't magnetize into the enemy you don't want him to attack. So yeah, in general, movement in this game is pretty difficult because this is one of those early 3D games where they added analog movement, but the camera angles are still fixed. So anytime there's a camera transition, there's a period that it takes for the controls to get used to the new camera angle. And you basically just have to memorize the analog stick movement for every screen to get your movement as optimal as possible. But okay, we are going to get into a pretty intense part of the run, but we do have some time before then, so I think we can do donations.
Fantastic. We've got so many friends in the chat, in the donations, showing love. We've got $20 from Garlic Dread, who says, so glad I get to see the Yakuza run of all time at HEDQ. Best of luck to NoNo on the run, and especially the shooting section, which I know you love.
Don't make me think of the shooting section now, and come on.
We've also got $10 from Firelight, who says, hey, NoNo, so happy that you finally get to show off a run in person. Still sad that I couldn't make it to HEDQ myself to hang out with y'all, but I'll do my best over on German commentary for you. I know you're gonna smash it, and I have very specific instructions on how to read the end of this donation message. They say, oh, and also one last thing. Hi, smiley face.
No. No.
Yeah, we'll see we'll see the hi people later. But yeah, Firelight and Garlic, both highly, highly valued members of the Yakuza speedrunning community. Yeah, would have loved to see them here, hopefully some other time. Okay, so right here, this is like the one plot point that the TV show took from the games correctly. We come here to talk to the florist, who's an information dealer, and he doesn't want us to pay him in money, he wants us to pay him in fighting. So we are going to do that right now. The first enemy in the Coliseum is also the only Jewish representation you'll ever see in Yakuza, Daniel Feldman. Daniel Feldman has the Hayashi spin as a counter, and the way you usually avoid him using it is by alternating full combos and the 4 light attack combos. So I'm just gonna do 4 light attacks and then chain that into 4 light attacks followed by the spin kick. And that worked pretty well. He didn't counter. He blocked a few times, but he did not counter, so good on that. Now this next fight is something completely different, and I will throw this one to the couch because I need to concentrate on this one.
Okay.
Like this.
So Pramuk here is like Yuya, who, well, he doesn't want you to grab him. So what we're gonna do is grab him, headbutt him, and then attempt to do a heat move, which you can see he doesn't want any of that.
Oh, that's 6 and counting. He's in a
7.
mood. 7, 8.
There
Okay.
you go.
So he's not broken the record yet. Yeah, G Pramuk will very actively resist you grabbing him. Not much you can do about this. This is just RNG.
We used to have a different upgrade route before the newer upgrade route, where we got like one upgrade that allowed us to have a little bit better grip, which sometimes allows you to grab G Pramuk a bit more, but not always.
About that, I actually checked, and that wasn't, like, that was the wrong upgrade.
Was it?
Like, the grab upgrade is from a completely different tree. I have no idea why we got that other upgrade.
Fantastic. We're really good in Yakuza speedrunning sometimes. Yes.
All right, and up next is the man, the GOAT. Can I hear it for Gary Buster Holmes? I love this man, but not in this game. He's a lot like Daniel Feldman, where we have to basically alternate the 2 combos to prevent the spin counter, except he can be really, really nasty. Sometimes he will just do a combo that you can't block at the start of the fight before stability goes into action, and yeah, that's a big problem. And okay, here he started spinning.
There we go.
There you go, yep. Thank you, Gary, love you. See you in Dead Souls, Gary. And that's a Coliseum. Honestly, for a Coliseum, that wasn't too bad. This is like one of the biggest reset points in the entire run, so I'm pretty happy with how that went. And now we actually have a bit more walking around before the next interesting part, so I think we have time for a few donations.
Fantastic. We have $500 from the Archbishop of Bicycles.
Nice.
They
Very
say
good, very
huge
good.
thanks, Nono, Froob, and Panda for what you do in the RGG speedrun community. Best franchise with the best runners. I gotta agree, honestly. We have
Sorry,
$25
go ahead.
from Pinecone. Says, thank you, Nono, for being such a cool and insightful streamer. You've really inspired me as a Yakuza speedrunner. May your aim be true and your sword grip firm. Majima Melon.
Appreciate you, buddy. Yeah, Pinecone has done a lot of work on Judgment recently, which has been really nice to see.
And we have a very familiar face here in these donations. We have $150 from Majima, who says, hey there, Kiryu-chan. I made a killing at the Mahjong tables. I was just gonna waste it on some Fantasy Zone games. Figured I should use it for a good cause instead. See you around, Kiryu-chan.
Majima, bro, this is a really bad time to come in.
You might want to look away, Majima, or you might want to get ready.
I might want to look away. But yeah, so interestingly, in Kiwami, you're actually forced to do the first Kamagi training. In this game, we don't have to, but we want to, because this will upgrade our sword usage. And swords, as we will see, are very, very good in this game. But for now, Kameki teaches us the incredible art of... thanks, OG1.
How did that miss twice?
OG1. Kameki teaches us the subtle art of just hold your sword upright, lol. And that gives us a 50% damage buff when using swords, which will be very, very good in a couple of chapters. And right here, I'm going to do a menu. I'm going to re-equip our brass knuckles and the angel bell. Now, this upgrade here is technically for safety, but the only other upgrade we're going to get in this run is getting the bottom tier of the upgrades to level 8. And it's actually going to be really, really good for the next couple of chapters to have some extra HP. So we have enough XP to level up and get some HP. So yeah, we just do that for safety. It's not a big deal since we're in the menu anyway. Yeah, the West Park fight. These guys right here, they don't have a lot of HP, but they're very aggressive and very quick. So I'm going to try and take them down together. Oh, nice. No. Yeah, once they start the animation, it's very hard to interrupt them. Okay, yeah, but as you see, these guys all go down in just 2 light attacks. Very nice. Okay, cool. Now, the next fight. The next fight is when things are going to get extremely, extremely real. I think Majima knew what he was doing. I think he knew what he was doing, making that donation at this exact time, because we're about to see Majima. And it is not going to be pretty, I assure you.
This is probably the hardest fight in the entire speedrun.
Yeah. So right here on the right, you're going to see a guy running towards us that I'm going to avoid. That's actually a sub-story fight. And we're going to dodge it in a much scarier fashion later on. Also coming up here is another fight dodge. If someone else can explain this, because I actually messed this up in a practice run, so I want to concentrate.
Yeah, so BigNoNo is moving to the right-hand side there to avoid like the people and get behind the lamppost that's there, and then tightly go by the van in between the person that he knocked out of the way, which is the fight spawn itself. If you get the right angle, you push him out of the way. If you get the wrong angle, it'll just be an instant fight.
Okay, and coming up, everyone's favorite, it is, in fact, Goro Majima. The PS2 version in all his polygonal glory.
He's just a little crunchy.
It's crunchy Majima.
That guy's a pirate.
Yes, he is. Okay, so very good. So the idea here is to go to the corner, because another thing that the AI really likes to do in this game is when you're in a corner, they like to follow you in and try to box you in like that. And this is actually good, because Majima got into the corner early. And the problem with Majima, as you can see, he's very, very mobile. So he can very easily dodge our attacks. Getting him into this corner limits his movement and makes it much easier to attack him. This is actually so far pretty good Majima, I gotta say.
Yeah. Especially with like the amount of ads still left, because as you can all see, all these ads are also trying to hit BigNoNo, and obviously they can interrupt any of BigNoNo's combos like that, and can let Majima out any time.
Yes. Ooh, this is like
That's a really
first
good match.
time. Yeah. This is the first time I've...
Shouldn't have said anything. My bad.
That's fine. I'll just finish him with a spin if I need to. Oh, no, this is actually fine. Ooh,
Nice,
that was a
very
really
nice,
good Majima.
very nice.
This does not happen very often, that he stays in the corner like that. So The gut punches, they're to do damage, but they also have a bit of a hitbox to the right. So when he tries to duck away, when he tries to run from the corner, they kind of had him off a lot of the time. Yeah, that was chapter 5. Very nice. So this chapter coming up, the original localization called it Fatherhood, but I prefer to call it Dude's Rock. This is where the game doesn't quite know what to do with the story. So it kind of gives us some characterization, I guess, for 2 of the side characters, for the florist and Date. And the characterization is that they are very, very bad fathers. So yeah, this will involve a lot of walking around, so we can go back and read some donations.
I would love to, but first I have a special announcement, which is, as a reward for meeting that boss fight incentive so quickly, we've got 2 more incentives open for you right now for the Shenmue run coming up right after this. If we hit the $3,000 mark, we will feed the cat at the beginning of the run to start it off with good luck. And we've got a $7,500 incentive goal for and I can't believe I get to say these words, motorcycle chicken race. And so you've got until the beginning of that run for that Feed the Cat, and about an hour into the run for the chicken race. So that might seem like a lot of time, but don't dawdle. We want to feed cats. We want to race motorcycle chickens or motorcycles on chickens, chickens on motorcycles. I'm not clear.
You'll have to donate to find out.
Yeah, I want to see it. I know you want to see it. And we're already $720 into that Feed the Cat incentive. So keep it going, y'all.
Please feed the cat.
Please feed the cat.
You can keep going.
Great. Since we just saw everyone's favorite boy, let's hear $50 from Goro Majima, who says, "You're looking a bit stiff, Kiryu-chan. How about you come and sail the 7 seas with me as my first mate?" We've also got $10 from Gorami-chan, who says, "So lovely seeing Kiryu-chan on the screen. Can we get a Kiryu-chan from everyone?"
Kiryu-chan!
Incredible. And we've got $100 from Mandy, who says, "Majima where?" Majima everywhere. So if we have any other Majimas out there watching right now, I want to hear from you. I want to see Majima popping up in these donations for the rest of the run. I love him, you love him. Let's see him.
They should do a Majima everywhere that's like into the Spider-Verse. Instead of just Majima going all sorts of places, it's just a million different Majimas all coming in.
No, now I need that. Why would you put that in my mind?
I mean, he can create doppelgangers. Like,
Oh, yeah.
thankfully not in this game, because could you imagine Majima doppelgangers in OG1?
You don't, please.
No.
You've given me 3 new nightmares now.
3 new dreams.
You know what game does have the doppelgangers is Yakuza 5.
I love that game.
It is, yeah. Genuinely, Yakuza 5 is my second favorite Yakuza after 0.
And somehow still the longest speedrun. Infinite Wealth is now shorter than Yakuza 5. Take that crown back, Yakuza 5.
We've got 2 JRPGs and they're still not longer than Yakuza 5. I love it. The game is too powerful.
What a game.
But yeah, we're going to the batting cages again, so this is really the game kind of spinning its wheels for a bit. I was thinking about offering this as a blind incentive, a blindfolded incentive.
Oh, yeah.
People told me not to do it. You tell me if this would have worked well as an incentive.
That's definitely one of the most skillful blindfold incentives I think I've ever seen.
Absolutely,
That was
absolutely.
incredible.
Super Mario 64 ain't got nothing on this.
I did not see that during practice. That was fantastic.
All right, beaking. So beaking is the first instance, well, not the first, but the first, one of the first instances of an enemy type I've come to call a sidestepper, because he sidesteps our combos, and I'm not very good at naming things. So right here, I'm going to unequip the knuckles, and I'm going to do basically the same strategy. Oh, I mistimed the key.
That's the timing we were talking about earlier. It is very precise.
Yeah. Oh, that's bad.
And that's the heat dissipate we talked about earlier.
It's a headbutt battle now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of an issue. All right, I think we're back on track. But yeah, if we were to try to just use regular combos in beaking, he would just constantly dodge them. So this is much, much better. And this really... Nice.
Nice.
Okay, made it back somehow. So this used to be a very, very different fight, and we at some point realized that you can actually heat move enemies against that door, which actually revolutionized not that fight, but the entire run. Like, the entire upgrade route is different because we don't need to get a specific upgrade that gives us heat moves for enemies that are down on the floor. So it was very, very important. But this next fight, we're not going to have any kind of convenient heat move to use. So we are going to have to get a bit creative. And yeah, we have a window here for one short donation.
It's not a donation, but I have to shout out the person in chat who just said Majima everywhere all at once, which is a movie I need to see.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And we also have $50 from Ethaloon who says, Kiryu-chan.
Nice. Okay, so right here, we have 3 goons and 1 boss who's a sidestepper, and we're going to have to, like I said, deal with him a bit differently. So first of all, I'm going to gut punch all these guys, try to get them to drop their daggers. And if this man, yeah, he's acting up. He's not happy with the fact that this run has been going kind of okay so far. Okay, but right there, you can see that when I attack one of his goons, he will just kind of eat the attack. The weird thing about sidesteppers in this game is that they're very good at dodging attacks that are aimed at them, but not very good at dodging attacks that are aimed at other enemies. So anytime a sidestepper has goons, we take advantage of that. Once the goons are down, I'm going to try and work him into a corner here, which is not working at all. And eventually just limit his movement so we can take him down. But that was okay. That can go a lot worse.
That is legitimately probably one of the scariest just normal fights in the game, because if you don't get them in a good hit at the very start and drop most of their knives, as you can see with just the boss and his knife, you get stun locked so often. And if they all have their knives, that can go south extremely quickly.
Yeah, it's really easy to die.
Yeah. Also very nice of the game to teleport us back to the florist after that fight, which Kiwami does not do. Again, one of the few things I will say for this game over Kiwami. But yeah, that fight is also one of the reasons why I pick up safety heals, because there aren't a whole lot of fights where you can legitimately die in this run. But if you take a lot of damage in that fight, the last fight of this chapter can very easily kill you. The nice thing is that you do get healed between chapters, but between fights you still have to manage. Okay, so that actually wraps up the florist part of this chapter, and we're gonna go to the date part. This is a big pet peeve of mine, where Kiryu, when we leave the florist office, he says, oh, I'll just go back to Serena. And then we get a call from Reina saying, hey Kiryu, could you come to Serena? Yes, game, I know, I'm going to Serena. Do you really think I would play this game for longer than I need to?
Are you sure you know?
No, where do I need to go? Remind me.
They're just trying to help.
Fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, there's more walking around, so please, more donations.
You got it. We are making great progress towards this Feed the Cat incentive. And we have some very creative donations towards that, like $100 from, and I'm so sorry about my pronunciation, Zarad Adnasser, who says, I have it in my head, a phrase that must be said. It is rather short, no need to retort, the kitty, they must be fed.
Oh.
I agree. Right now, we are at $930 out of that $3,000 donation. We have $25 from Kubaru, who says, really excited to see this Yakuza run from BigNoNo. Best of luck on the run. We need to pet the cat in Shenmue, so that's what I'm putting my donation towards. Much love, less than 3.
Thank you very much. Right here, we come back to Serena to find Date, who set up a meeting with his daughter, but instead decided to get drunk and pass out. So yeah, real fodder of the year material. So we are going to the park to see what's up. And yeah, we're gonna be walking around more, so more donations, please.
Absolutely. We have got $25 from Insanity Sylveon, who says, hey boss, it's so cool seeing you run this wonderful pile of jank on the big stage. Love you, no.
Thank you very much, Sylveon. Sylveon, also a very valued community member. Thank you so much, appreciate you.
We've got $100 from Dr. Dude, who says, we've had about 5 inches of snow here the last few days, so I've been bundled up watching the stream. Now I have to get in a donation for one of my favorite series, Yakuza. Let's get that Amon fight unlocked, which we did, thank you so much. Trans lefts? I say right on. I say trans lefts, trans rights, trans ups and downs. I love it. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it very much.
We have $250 from TMS Lift, who says, the tiger drop implies the existence of a kitten lift. Good luck on the run. Wait, watch out, there's a panda behind you.
Oh no.
Now I want to know what the other implications are from tiger drop to kitten lift. There's got to be a whole multiverse of moves that we have not even scratched the surface of.
I mean, Majima's getting a giant monkey in like a dragon pirate Yakuza, so who knows at this point? Let's be honest.
There's also, what's the name they give the tiger drop in Lost Judgment?
Oh,
The dragon something?
Yeah. Oh, it's like this. I should know this. You put me on the spot.
Chat, if you know the answer, why don't you put it in a donation message? Or make something up and see if I can tell the difference between the real moves and the fake moves.
Oh, yes.
Let's see your best Yakuza moves in those donation messages.
By the way, real quick before we continue with donations, this, like, you can see the yen count in the upper right corner. The money route for the beginning of this run is exceedingly tight. I'm going to taxi south here, and now I don't have money for an extra taxi. So if I get any of the taxis wrong in the first 6 chapters, the run is essentially dead in terms of, you know, PB world record. So yeah, not intense at all, no pressure. And we got time for a couple more, I think.
You got it. We've got $25 from Essence of Kiryu Fangirl, who says, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth was my introduction to the Yakuza series a year ago, and I fell in love with the series. I've been playing through every Yakuza game since then. Kiryu has become my favorite video game of all time. It has truly been the year of the dragon for me. That sounds fantastic. Thank you so much for that donation.
Yes.
He's
Thank you
definitely
very much.
RGG's favorite video game of all time as well.
Now, right here, the one thing that is worth noting about this fight is that the one guy I took out in the beginning has a stun gun. Stun guns hurt. If I were to give you any kind of real-life recommendation, is don't get tased. It's not good for you. So we try to get rid of the taser guy right away because not only do we, not only does, oh no.
Oh, he picked it up. Oh no.
No. You gotta shut that down immediately when you see that. All right, not a bad fight.
Nice fight.
But yeah, that was pretty good. Anytime you get tased, Kiryu has this really long stun animation where he falls down. And the thing is, the taser guys will sometimes see that and will capitalize on it and do a second attack so they can just essentially stun lock you. It's very nasty to the point where often if we get hit by the taser, we will use a spin, which, have we talked about the spin?
No, I don't even think we've talked
No, we
about
have
like
not.
the durability of the knuckles either, actually.
Yeah, this might be a good time. But right after this, just gonna shout this out. I'm going to give this guy 2 bottles of sake, after which he asks for an energy drink. I personally don't recommend that mixture, but I do need the money, so we're gonna go ahead and give it to him. And I'm also gonna equip a dagger we got from the florist for the next fight. And yeah, please explain Knuckles' durability.
Yeah, sure. So basically the knife, as you saw there on the pause screen, had 12 durability, and the Knuckles have had 5. But you've probably noticed that BigNoNo has been using the Knuckles since like Chapter 3, so how is the Knuckles still around? The way that Knuckles work in the older games, OG1 and OG2, is that the durability isn't actually tied to the hits on enemies, unlike other weapons like the knife or dagger that BigNoNo just equipped, but to the actual special ability that it has, which we've been describing as the spin. In OG2, you require about 13 spins over the course of any percent to be able to like get the most out of them. In OG1, BigNoNo doesn't need a precise amount of spins. However, the nice thing about that is that BigNoNo will be able to use those spins to get out of dangerous situations, like being hit with a stun gun guy like in the previous fight, or any of like the nasty like spins that you've seen on certain bosses.
Yeah, so right here, I'm going to do this cycle on Shoda, this guy right here. We are going to use dagger swipes to build up heat off of him, and then use heat moves. And the nice thing is, in this game, heat moves actually teleport you to where the heat, oh, that's bad, to where the heat action takes place. So it's much easier to cycle heat moves in this game. So yeah, that was a bit questionable just because the enemies interrupted me a bit. This is something we actually haven't discussed yet, where this game and I think, well, OG2 as well, also, yeah, I think just those 2 games. But yeah, the first 2 Yakuza games, a lot of the fights you don't actually have to beat all the goons, you only have to beat the main boss, which sounds good because, you know, it's faster, less enemies to take care of, but it also means that it incentivizes you to completely ignore all the ads, which can be really bad because they just have free reign to wail on you, and you just kind of have to hope with the assistance of the Angel Bell that they don't do too much damage. So yeah, unfortunately, sometimes they can get in the way of your strats, but you just gotta play around that. Now, this is the one time in the run where we are going to use the other item we got from the locker, and that is the Beads of Good Fortune. And a lot of Yakuza players might be surprised that the beads are so easy to find in this game, because usually they're an award for a lot of completion objectives and stuff like that. Like, usually the Beads of Good Fortune take a lot of effort to get. Not in this game, but they're also not as helpful because, again, fight locations are fixed. The only exception is right here. There's sometimes a really nasty fight spawn, and the Beads of Good Fortune make sure they guarantee it doesn't appear. So we use them for that. I have heard, there is a rumor that sometimes the fight spawn can appear here even when you have the Beads of Good Fortune on. Personally, this has never happened to me, but I can believe it. Again, the OG1 asterisk, anything can happen in this game. And yeah, we have a bit of walking around to get back to Serena, so I think we have time for 2 more donations.
That's great. Very quickly, though, we've got an update on that Feed the Cat incentive. We have passed $1,000 out of the $3,000 we need. Y'all are doing so good. Keep it going. And we do have so many incredible donations. We've got $145 from John, who says, thanks for all you guys do and prayers to all of those dealing with cancer. Here's to putting it down for good. Kiryu-chan!
Now, right here, we're going to find out something that we haven't even mentioned this the first time it happened. So, Haruka got kidnapped. And you didn't notice it because we didn't mention it. Haruka got kidnapped once already in this game when we went to fight Majima. Yep. This is just so routine that we forget to call it out a lot of the time. But yeah, Haruka gets kidnapped a lot, but surely they won't kidnap her again after this in this game. No way that's gonna happen. So yeah, we need to go out and about to fight Haruka. And until the next skip, we have time for, once again, like 2-3 donations.
Let's do it. We've got $30 from JSD, who says, hooray for Yakuza. Best of luck on the run, Big No, and good to see both Panda and Froob on the couch. Keep being awesome.
You can recognize, I have a very good friend called Aldred, who's also a Yakuza speedrunner, and you can identify people from his community by the fact that only they call me Big No.
We've got $8 from Ruby Runs, who says, best of luck to BigNoNo, and a thank you for giving me the inspiration to run the series, especially Kiwami. Keep it up, and trans rights.
Trans rights, indeed. Thank you very much, Ruby.
$25 we've got also from Undead Raspberry, who says, I'm a simple gal. I see Nono, Froob, and Panda on stage, and I donate. Less than 3.
Thank you very, very much. All right, so here's our next skip, and I actually kind of need to focus on this, so if the couch could explain this one.
Yes, if you remember the Yakuza hater guy from earlier, you saw him very briefly going to the right of the screen there, which is what BigNoNo is trying to like drag him away from the entrance of the park for. This way it allowed BigNoNo to get into the park to give this guy some pocket tissues, don't worry about it. And at this point, he's coming back in because he gets repositioned after the cutscene, and BigNoNo is trying to walk around outside and manage to make it. Very, very hard skip. Very well done.
Yes, that one always stresses me out. It's I've found a pretty consistent visual cue for it, but it's still very scary because he rushes you, like he runs really quickly towards you. This NPC coming up here is probably my favorite NPC in the entire series because you walk up to him, you ask if he's seen Haruka, he demands that you give him booze, you threaten him, he demands booze again. And then you threaten him a second time, and then he says, oh, little girl, yeah, she's in park somewhere. And then the game just marks the 3 parks in Kamurocho on your map. Luckily, the location she's in is determined. It's always in Public Park 3, so we are going to head over there. The same thing happens in Kiwami, but for some reason, for a really long time, we thought you have to go to both of the other parks and then go to Public Park 3, and we just never thought to check this. And once we realized this is the case, we just saved 10 seconds. Just like that. So yeah, we are we do make some mistakes every now and then.
As with any speedrun, it's very easy to just not see like the actual, like, hey, have you tried this? Or, like, is this a better option? And then, you know, someone comes along with fresh eyes and goes, do that. And we're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is very, very exciting news that having more people in your community is generally a good thing. Okay, so this is another Stardust fight. Once again, we're going to use the elevation difference to get everyone to follow us. The exception is we have way more enemies here, and they are way more annoying. These guys are faster, they can get behind us. Seems like it's a good start. Yeah, but we're basically just, once again, there you go, I spoke too soon. But yeah, we're just gonna try and pack these guys up on the stairs. Oh, buddy, please don't do that, thank you. All right, okay, I think we're fine. Yeah, those are the worst guys out of the way. Just need to deal with these two. And okay, that is the Stardust fight. Now, coming up here, we're going to, this is where we find Haruka. And that thing makes a very good point to Kiryu that, you know, Haruka's been kidnapped twice. She's been through a lot. She's probably very traumatized. She's going to need some levity, some quality time with him. And what Kiryu decides to do is take her to an illegal gambling house where surely nothing bad will happen. So combined with the last chapter, we're just chock full of positive father figures in this game. It's just wonderful. But yeah, on the way there, I think we have time for 2 more donations.
Sure thing. I would love to give a quick update also on this dumpy, bumpy, dandy, randy, crinkle, binkle, etc. bid war. When we started this run, it was pretty neck and neck, but there's been a huge dumpy and bumpy push. It is almost $1,000 ahead of Dandy and Randy. So Dandy and Randy DX stands out there, you know what to do.
Nice. One more, please.
Sure thing. We have $25 from Chocolate Dave, who says, I knew Yakuza was the series for me the moment I dropped a full electrical transformer onto Majima, and then he was like, cool thing, Kiryu-chan, let's do this again soon.
Okay, so the gambling hall. So this game makes a weird point about Haruka kind of like being a magical girl who can tell what the result of Chohan gambles is going to be. So she's going to just keep telling us to bet on the top option. And what we want, because it actually matters in this game how many points we have, because we're going to use those points to get stuff from the gambling house store later. We want the number on the bottom to be as high as possible relative to the one on top, so we get the most money back. Yeah, there's going to be 5 bets here. We're going to win all of them, but we need to win them by a good margin. At the end of this entire part, we need to have at least 7,880 points. So hopefully we get that. I do have a fallback prepared in case not. It has never happened to me before, but you know, a marathon run is always a good time for something to happen the first time around. But yeah, until that point, I think we can get more donations in.
You've got it. We have $30 from Dubeyasu. Says, good luck on the run, No. Here's hoping that Date is an at least somewhat competent driver a few later. Also, an obligatory hi, smiley face.
Hi.
We also have $1,000 from Akiyama from Sky Finance.
Oh my goodness.
Says, I was just standing outside the Millennium Tower and a bunch of money fell from the sky. Here, you can have some of it too. Let's beat cancer together.
Very nice, very nice. One more.
$100 from Scotty Don't Know, who says, let's keep donating for Kiryu and to fight cancer. Feed those cats and trans rights.
Trans rights?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're already good on the points. Yeah, we're going to definitely have at least the minimum, which is nice. We want to ideally have as many as possible, because that will save us time in the finale, but we definitely don't have to go for the backups, which is really, really nice. So after this or the next round, I've lost count. There's 4 gambles where we win, and then there's 2 cutscenes, and then there's one where we lose the bet, and yeah, there's one more. And what we discover is that this guy is actually cheating, but he's not loading the dice or anything. He has this weird, like, spider leg mechanism that pushes the dice to the result he wants, which is weird. But yeah, so that's going to lead to a fight, and that's going to happen after the next round where we will lose. So for that round, we bet the minimum amount possible, which is 10 points. We almost had enough to not really buy any extra tokens in the finale, but okay, this is a minimal time loss. Okay, we have time for one more donation before the fight.
Sure thing. We've got $10 from Goofy Goof, who says, let's remember that the English voice of Dante is Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy. Let that sink in. Father of the Year to the max.
I'll give you an even a comparably interesting fact, which is the actor who does the voice of Shimano in this game and in Kiwami also does the Japanese voice of Scooby-Doo. All right, so this guy right here, he is another sidestepper, and he's the worst sidestepper in the run, I would say, unless you want to count Majima, because we don't really have any good place to use heat moves here. And also, these guys don't really start close enough to him, although, oh, this might work. Nope. Yeah, these guys aren't really close enough to him for us to hit him as like a side effect of hitting them. So yeah, this can be a very, very problematic fight. The only thing we can really do is try to guide him into one of the corners here or into the corridor outside to limit his movement, which so far we're not looking that good for. Oh no, buddy, please. I lost heat, so we don't have stability. This can be a problem. All right, we're good. Bro, please, I beg of you.
Yeah, this is a good demonstration of the targeting system, or rather the lack thereof in OG1.
Yep, very much.
And you're probably wondering, you know, why don't we just go to like this corridor or the corridor by the door? He can still just avoid all of the attacks.
Yep. I mean, this is better, but it's not guaranteed. Okay, that was looking rough for a while, but we're good now. And that's the gambling hall. So after this, I'm going to go right back in, and already I'm going to use some of the points we got to buy some items. I'm going to buy 3 swords called Cursed Mugetsu, which, Panda, what did you say Mugetsu means?
It's basically like no moon.
No moon, the cursed no moon. We're going to use a bunch of those. They have a very interesting mechanic that I don't really want to explain ahead of time. I will wait until you see it in action, and after that, we'll talk about them a bit. I also buy a couple of gold plates. I did buy the gold plates.
Yes, you did. Okay. I was watching. I thought you were going to actually leave without it. I was about to say.
Yeah. So, yeah, we bought some gold plates. We're going to sell those a bit later for money. And, yeah, now we have a bit of walking around until the next fight. So, yeah, time for more donations.
You got it. First, I want to thank everyone out there for getting us over the halfway mark to that Feed the Cat incentive. We are at $1,565, so just under $1,500 left to go. You've only got until the Shenmue run starts, so if you're thinking about donating for that incentive, and I hope you are, now is the time. And make sure when you go to gamesdonequick.com/donate, make sure when you scroll down to the bottom before you submit that donation, there should be something to assign it to an incentive. Make sure that you go through that makes, oh my gosh, we just got a huge donation to the Feed the Cat incentive. We are now at $1,800. Twitch chat, y'all are doing so good. We have donations like this anonymous donor gives $10, says, let's all remember the most monstrous thing Majima has ever done, increase the taxes to 8%. Majima's impact is everywhere.
That's canon. You can't talk around that.
Good sub-story.
Yeah.
We also have $50 from someone near and dear to my heart, Pocket Circuit Fighter, who says, thank you to the devs and Yakuza community for such an amazing universe to get lost in. And thank you, Froob, for so many entertaining streams and runs.
Thank you, Pocket Circuit Fighter. See you when I run Kiwami all sub-stories very soon.
Ooh. Time for one more?
Yes.
We have $10 from The Tick Rules, who says, such sweet memories of Yakuza series, like in Yakuza 0, where a chicken I won in a bowling match was a real estate manager for me. These games get weird sometimes.
They get fantastic at times.
I believe that chicken's name is Omelet?
No,
that's the LAD one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's Nugget.
Yeah, Nugget.
Please don't tell the chickens I got them mixed up. That's super embarrassing.
All right, so these guys, all right, yeah. Okay, this fight is going pretty well so far. Oh, we didn't get the guy from the corner. Like, there's one guy who likes to dig himself into the corner a lot of the time, so he actually aggroed. But this guy, yeah, this guy just decided to stay on the floor. All right, fair enough, that wasn't too bad. Okay, so coming up here, you're going to see the Cursed Mugetsu in action, and I'm just going to let you take this in, and the couch can take over commentary for a bit, because I do need to concentrate here. But yeah, we'll talk more about the mechanics of this after the fight.
Go.
Yeah, sure. So the way the Cursed Mugetsu works is it will cause, as you can see, the little stun animation on the floor where they writhe around. We want to keep Shindo in that, ideally. Sometimes they can flip around like that, and that is not what we want. We want them to be on their back so we can continue to hit them, like Nono just did. Nice.
Nice connect.
Okay, yeah. The OG1 targeting system, folks, it's very good. Yeah, so the way the Cursed Mugetsu stun lock works is very, very simple. Generally, in a Yakuza game, enemies are always either standing up or down on the ground. And when they're standing up, you can hit them with regular attacks. When they're on the ground, you can only hit them with stomps. So when the Cursed Mugetsu hits, it changes their state from standing up to down to back up. And sometimes, depending on the terrain, it's standing up, standing up, standing up. Look, you don't need to know the specifics. The thing is, when you hit someone with the Cursed Mugetsu, they roll around the floor and we keep hitting them unless we get interrupted a lot by their goons. So that is going to be what we use for most of the bosses in the rest of the run. And yeah, that's why we had to do the Kameki training earlier. So that is the Cursed Mugetsu, and we will be seeing a lot of it. I actually got interrupted quite a few times by enemies in that fight, which is why that didn't go quite as smoothly as it can. But trust me, that fight can go way, way worse. And we might see fights going way, way worse, especially this fight here against the White Gang, which is like a version of the Shindo fight that, yeah, is even worse. Because anytime you get grabbed by enemies in this game, you drop your equipped weapon. And that, the place where we're going to fight the White Gang is just got stuff all over the floor, so you might be trying to pick up your sword and you pick up something else instead. It's a whole thing. Also, that fight, I opened it up with using a heat move on Shindo just to set us up for the Sunlock a bit more consistently. I'm going to do something similar right here. So I'm going to open this fight with a heavy attack, and hopefully what this does is it hits Shindo as it comes in to attack us. Sorry, it hits Yuji Shiraki, which it did, very nice. And now we're all set up for the stun lock. Oh, beautiful. This might be a really good Yuji Shiraki. All right, we are out of sword, that's fine. Oh,
nice recovery, nice.
That was good, that was good. That was how the Cursed Mugetsu fights generally look when they go well. But yeah, we have a bit of a walk until the next fight, so I think we have time for more donations.
Sure thing. I just want to remind everyone out there that if you want to donate, you don't have to give us a name. You don't have to write a comment. We love our anonymous donations. We love our no comment donations. And we've gotten so many of those. I want to shout out a few of them. We have an anonymous donation of $100 with no comment, an anonymous donation of $50 with no comment, an anonymous donation of $500 with no comment, and so many more. Thank you to all of our anonymous donators out there. Your contributions make such a huge difference. Thank you.
I'm going to tease that we're going to have 2 fights coming up here in the Bola. The first one is a pretty standard fight. The second one, you really are going to want to watch, because not only is this the coolest strat in this entire run, but it's one of the coolest things I've seen in Yakuza speedrunning, and I would say just generally in speedrunning. This is very, very good. Also, you may have seen a couple of donations just go high recently. That's an ode to the voice acting right here. The voice acting in the ball, just a bunch of guys going, hi. It's very good. Very, very good. That's how voice acting should be done. Okay, so this is our first red gang fight. This one is going to be pretty standard. I'm going to start my combo on the big boy on the left, because he's got the most HP, and hopefully all his friends come in to get gut punch as well. No, actually, I would like you to not attack me. Thank you very much. Oh, no, don't grab me. Oh, that's a shame.
So this is what we were talking about earlier, in that if an enemy grabs you, if you are not mashing the button immediately, it is so hard to break out, like almost impossible. The timing is ridiculous.
Nice. Okay, yeah, essentially, you have to start mashing before the QTE shows up, and if you don't, you're probably going to just get thrown. That's why during set pieces, when we walk past enemies that you don't have to fight, we will typically, K1 brain. We will typically be mashing X anytime we go past an enemy, just in case they try to grab us. And, you know, we just preempt it by already mashing X. But this is the fight. This is the fight to watch out for. So I'm going to start, this is going to start in a pretty standard way. I'm just going to get rid of all the goons with regular combos. For that combo on these guys. Oh, please don't interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me, thank you. All right, took those guys out. We have one more guy, and now I'm going to park myself in the corner, put the camera towards the wall, that's very important, and hope to get grabbed pretty quickly. Please grab me.
Sir?
No, not you. All right, you grab me. No, don't block. Bro,
He's
please.
struggling with that position.
Oh, no. Okay, they're doing their long combo, whatever. Whatever, that's fine, I'll take it. Grab me.
Dating can be so hard these days.
And watch your screen. Boom. He was actually running, that was beautiful. So, can anyone please explain what happened there as I finish this guy off with a cursed Mugetsu?
Yeah, so basically when the larger, which is the younger of the Akai brothers there, grabs you, it automatically does this like QTE, like heat move that they have, that basically, because BigNoNo is next to a wall, it actually pushes the other Akai brother, the elder one, out of bounds, and obviously as he's falling down, the game doesn't have like a 0-0 coordinate to respawn him on, so he dies.
Yeah, he just hits a death point and dies, and that's beautiful, I love that. It used to be very RNG if you actually got to see him fall down, but I actually found that if you just aim your camera at that wall, then you very consistently get the animation, which I'm glad, because it's so beautiful to see it. And it was even better, because he usually doesn't give you the running animation. That made it even better for me.
Yeah, it's one of the like coolest like visual, but also oldest tricks that we've got in Yakuza speedrunning. I really wish I could remember who found it originally, because like it's so cool.
Yeah, right here I'm also going to get our last upgrade of the run. I'm going to get Heat Force 2. So reminder, Heat Force, that was the first the first upgrade we got, which made it so anytime we were in heat mode, it gave us a 30% damage buff, and this increases that damage buff to 50%, which you're going to see in action right here. We absolutely shred enemies with this upgrade. Also, and here's where I have to make a confession. A couple of weeks ago, I was making safety saves for this run, and I realized I didn't have a safety save for one of the parts, so I saw a save that I thought I wasn't using, and I basically said, oh, I probably don't need this. Turns out that was my Amon save, and I just lost that, and I had to do, in my hotel, a 4-hour all bosses run just to get an Amon save again. But during that, I realized that that phone call you get at the end of the chapter, it's actually the florist telling you, oh, Kiri, when you have the time, please come by. If you don't go to him immediately before ending the chapter, you actually can never do that sub-story. Kiwami fixed that. There's not really any missable sub-stories in Yakuza anymore, but these early games had them, and yeah, that was very, very unfortunate if you missed that and you just couldn't do that anymore, because it locks you out of fighting Amon.
Yeah, OG1, OG2, Kenzan, and OG3, not the remastered version, all have these ridiculous sub-story requirements. Like, they're time-gated, they're potentially weather-gated for some of them. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't get sub-stories in this game when it's raining.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
That's the nice quality of life that stuff like Kiwami has brought us, which is good.
Mm-hmm. So right here, again, I'm using the elevation differences to aggro all of these guys. Heat Force 2 really doing a lot of work for us in here. And yeah, just gonna get them together and combo them. So I think we have time for a couple more donations.
You've got it. We have $25 from Parse the Potatoes, who sends us a limerick. BigNoNo, Panda, and Froob play the games with that Kiryu dude. With the Amangol met, I asked Miso, my pet. He said, yes, give the kitty cat food. And we've got a lot of donations supporting that Feed the Cat incentive, like $20 from Parker, Zap, Kaylee, and Leon, who says 4 tickets for the Feed the Cat train, please, from 4 friendly felines. Love to see cats supporting cats. That's incredible. Thank you.
Okay, so we're done with these guys. Now we're going into the kitchen fight. I also should note that last wave of enemies, they were from a group called the Snake Flower Triad, which you can kind of recognize them by the fact that when we do a combo that knocks them down, they just immediately go up again. Yeah, you knock them down, but they get up again. You're never going to keep them down. Right here, we have a bunch of these guys, and also the chef, who is a sidestepper. So hopefully I'm going to get him into this corridor and just attack him along with his goons. But sometimes he has a lot of health left over when you are... Oh, that's bad. Sometimes he still has a lot of health left over when you're done with his goons. For that, it's actually good that I have a lot of extra Cursed Mugetsu. I only need about 13, 14 uses for the boss of this chapter. So yeah, since we have a full sword, we have 20 uses, we can actually dispatch this guy pretty easily with that. I'm getting some... These guys are being very, very naughty. They are not behaving at all. All right. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pull out the Cursed Mugetsu right now. So, sir, please let me attack you, if you don't mind. Oh, very nice, thanks. And 1 combo should do it. 2 combos, nice, okay. 15 uses is more than we're going to need for Lao Kalong. And yeah, so the Long Kalong fight, this is going to be another typical Cursed Mugetsu fight. However, I am going to do something at the start of each phase of this fight, which basically I'm going to let him come in. And much like with Yuji Shiraki, as he comes in, I'm going to do a heavy tech, knock him down to the ground, and now we can do the Cursed Mugetsu stun lock. 2 hits every time. I should say this is sometimes 2, sometimes 3, kind of depends on the terrain you're fighting on. All right, and let's see if we can get it to be that smooth on the second phase as well. Oh, beautiful. Nice. And hopefully we don't whiff any of the attacks. Nice, that was perfect, Lao Kalong.
He didn't AFK.
Yeah, very nice of him. He did during practice. That was interesting. Now, I know what you're thinking if you know about Kiwami. That this is in Kiwami where the shooting section is. But you're probably thinking, there's no way they tried to get away with putting a shooting section in a PS2 game. Oh, they did. And the results are spectacular. So I'm fully going to throw off commentary to the couch for this part, because if I'm going to speak during this, I'm going to use language that you should not be using on a GDQ stream. So please take over.
Yeah, this bit is infuriating. When we say this game is a bit antiquated, this is a lot of what we're talking about. So as you can see, like, obviously shooting is with the left stick, but it's like kind of really inaccurate. And every time that you shoot one of the enemies, there's like a little delay period between being able to hit them again. So some of these cars that have like obviously like 2 enemies, like BigNoNo is going to be like changing between each target in between like shots to try and take down the cars. And then obviously, as you saw, the cars at the end also have to be taken out. Now, one thing you saw there during that first attack is that the camera swung around with the car. That's not the game, that's actually BigNoNo. In this game, you have full camera control for this bit. You'll see as well that every time that BigNoNo is taking out any of these cars, they're fully swinging the camera around to get the next spawn in quicker. However, this doesn't mean it's going to go well. If you've seen that truck on the left-hand side, you're basically pedestrians that are driving along the highway at this time, which is a very unfortunate time, they will get in the way. And you can also get rammed as well. This is a 10-shot revolver, so despite the fact that obviously like most enemies are going to require 2 shots and then the car's going to require 3 shots, that's an odd number of bullets, and it's just going to require a good amount of like reloading at the right time. There's also going to be a couple of, because like obviously all these enemy spawns are a bit different to how you remember them in Kiwami. There are going to be a couple of the enemies are going to still be the same, enemies on bikes, for example. And if you remember from Kiwami, the enemies in the van, where back when K1 did the K1 New Game Plus run and gave you the little tip of take out the guy in the front of the van, that doesn't work in OG1. You've got to take care of everybody. And when the boss spawns in a little bit as well, that's also going to be a little different. You're also very reliant on Date's driving. You do not control that. Date controls that, and he's suffered a little bit of a concussion, so we probably shouldn't have been letting him drive, but it's probably better that we're shooting, I guess. And here you can just see, yep, sometimes they don't spawn in. Sometimes they get stuck behind the taxi. Thankfully, they're not stuck behind it this time. Date, that's not useful because we have to still take care of that van, but actually worked out slightly. There is a zoom in button as well, but yeah, it's not great. But this is what we mean by a bit antiquated. Like, obviously it's not going to have like full mouse control like it does in Kiwami 1, but like this bit feels just weird to control. Like the van, this one has to be on the side here so that you can actually like take care of like the last guy that's like actually on the side. You'll see it pull up now. And thankfully this one does like slow down like when you're getting close. Sometimes it can do a little bit of extra acceleration and go backwards or forwards. And if it gets too far away, yes, there is a range limit to how far you can actually shoot. So we're going to get the boss now, which, thankfully, the boss isn't quite as long as K1's. You don't have to take out the actual truck as well, and there are 3 enemies on top. But in regards to the rules of OG1 that BigNoNo said earlier, you only have to take care of the boss, which it's pretty obvious which one of these is the boss. Good luck hitting him with 2 others around him. So... yep, you'll get little situations like this where like the angle of where they are is like really hard to hit. BigNoNo is also like trying to hit the main enemy in front at points because that guy can just get in the way. Usually the truck is going to pull up on the side and chill, but as you can see, this truck is currently not chill. That's better, more like that. So now for a good little period of time, BigNoNo will be able to take care of the boss, or at least do good damage to the boss. But again, as you can see there, this is a perfect like example of just you have to wait. And then by waiting as well, you can also just not have to reload the gun again. And the enemies have machine guns as well that will stagger you completely during this, and you won't be able to shoot. There should be 2 more hits, hopefully. And you can see as well, like it's worth briefly mentioning at the top left, you'll see the orange bar is Curious HP bar, and the green one is the car. So, yeah, 2 HP bars to worry about. That's the driving section.
I can't stress enough how so many things are random in that part. But I find out that you can't do this with the D-pad, but you can just hold the analog stick to the right during the save prompt, and it just it goes over as soon as possible, which is nice. But yeah, I can't emphasize enough how much of that is random. Enemy HP is random, enemy movements are random, your movement is random. And yeah, the other NPC vehicles on the road, their movement is also random. You can have instances where that van refuses to go to your side for like half a minute, and you just keep losing time, and you can't do anything about it because you can't attack the van before.
Saw that in practice, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I will say very briefly about that bit, the one positive about that bit compared to K1, it gives you a save point before the shooting section. K1, for some reason, took that out.
Yeah, K1 Legend enjoyers know.
Yep. Thankfully on PC you have mouse control, so it's a bit nicer there.
Yeah, but the result is that sometimes you'll line up an attack, and Date will just decide to move over just a tiny bit just to move you enough so that you're no longer hitting the enemy correctly, which is very lovely.
And there is no precision aim for like tilting the stick a bit slower. It is just full on. You just go.
Yeah, you really gotta hand it to them that they did a lot of work to find the exact sensitivity that's too high to do any kind of precise aiming, but also too low to really just, you know, efficiently move from enemy to enemy. It's like the exact minimum, the exact middle position where it's not good for anything.
Yeah, and they loved it so much. It's also in Dead Souls.
You mind if I jump in with a quick update?
Yes, please.
We are now just over 75% of the way to that Feed the Cat incentive. That is $2,255 raised for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And we've got just under $750 left to go. And we are running out of time, folks, so make sure to donate to that incentive. We've also got $450 on that motorcycle chicken race incentive. I see you, motorcycle chicken fans.
But yeah, right there, I got our second batch of Cursed Mugetsu, which, again, we're going to be using that for most of the bosses in the rest of the run. Also, the way the game guides you to this set piece is usually you have to follow Blood Trail, but if you know where it is, you can just go there. We used to think that in Kiwami you have to follow the Blood Trail to get here, but I actually found a skip for this last year that saves like 10 seconds across all categories, which is really nice. Blood skip. It's pretty cool. But yeah, this is another one of those set pieces where you can just kind of run past everything. But we get to listen to this track, Intelligence for Violence, one of the best tracks in all Yakuza music, which says a lot. And yeah, I think we can work in a couple more donations during this.
Sure thing. We have a $50 donation from Caitlin, who says, my mom did not understand speedrunning at all, but loved hearing about GDQ nonetheless. She texts me every day at the marathon to ask how much money had been raised, and no matter the number, it was always met with a very sincere, wow, that is so cool. She passed away after her battle with cancer in September, so this is my first GDQ without her. Well, the total's $50 more, Mom. I know you'll think that is so cool. Let's keep raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Let's kick cancer's butt. Feed the cats. Thank you, Caitlin. That is so cool.
So we do have to take these guys out, but I only have to take out the guys with the guns. So once we do that, the door is going to open and more enemies are going to come in, but at that point, we don't really need to defeat any of them. We can just keep going. So yeah, we have time for more donations until we hit the boss.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're
we have a $25 donation from a celebrity. It's the cat from Shenmue, who says, and this isn't my first language, so I'm a little rusty, they say, meow, meow, meow. They have attached a translation. It says, feed me, please. We're gonna feed you, don't worry. I have faith in Twitch chat. We have $100 from Midnight, who says, the feline must feast. Which is good. That's bringing some real gravitas to what is honestly a very important challenge. We have $50 from Mr. Magic the Cat, who says, my human is watching other humans play video games. He knows it's my dinner time. I am writing this to remind him. Oh, and I suppose some other cat should get fed too, but mostly me. Nice. Mr. Magic, I'm pulling for you. I'm pulling for all the cats out there who are dying of hunger.
So Arce, getting the Cursed Mugetsu stat up on him can be a bit of a pain. Oh, and he got out. Okay, we got him back in. That's fine. Crisis averted. Yeah. So the thing is, you need to and that's Arce. Yeah, that was pretty damn good. Also, I was really scared about him getting away from the stun lock, but yeah, you can attack him during the somersault he does, but you need to hit him during a specific part of the animation, or it simply doesn't count. Like he falls down, but he doesn't get into the stun lock. So that's really the one challenging part, and once you get that, it's pretty okay. And this brings us to chapter 11. So we are nearing the end of the run. And this chapter, story-wise, is pretty nice. It tells the story of Kiryu helping a Chinese immigrant who asks him to get a fake passport for her so she can stay in the country, provide for her and her brother. It's really nice. It's very well done. But in the speedrun, it does lead to a lot of walking around before we see any action. I'm also going to go into Abisu Pawn right here and sell the 2 gold plates we got earlier. And this will set us up for the money route for the rest of the run. But yeah, from here on out, it's a whole bunch of walking, so keep those donations coming in, Kara, please.
People are so insistent that we feed this cat, and I am on the exact same page with them. We have $5 from Captain Kieran, who says, feed that cat, on behalf of my own cat, Posey, who's currently meowing at me to feed her. I think Posey deserves to be fed. I think the Shenmue cat deserves to be fed. We've got $50 from Yukupo, who says, Shenmue is one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm excited to see it run at GDQ. Feed the cat.
We can do 2 more.
You got it. We have $5 from Yagami from Judgment, who says, Kiryu-chan?
Oh no, the Yagami Everywhere system.
And we have $50 from Chow195, who just says, feed the cat.
Nice. We can do 1 more since those were short.
You've got it. We have $25 from Roxas the Zerg, who says, greetings from Germany. Let's beat cancer. Trans rights then, trans rights now, trans rights forever. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, trans rights. All right, so right here, we already had 1 out of bounds in this game, but it was used by a boss. And we're jealous. We want an out of bounds for us. So I'm going to mash real hard and try to get 1 here. And if I do this right, Kiryu will just be able to walk away. The game is not able to get us into the cutscene, and we just go through the wall and step outside. Nice. This only saves a couple of seconds, but I just really like that trick. I just think it looks very goofy. And yeah, now is going to be a bit more walking around until the next fight, so I think we can do 2-3 more donations.
Sure thing. We have $100 from Stell, who says, everyone, please give your pets hugs or love for me. Pets are truly the best, and everyone with a pet is lucky to have them. Less than 3. And folks, we have passed $2,800 towards that $3,000 goal. We are only $155 away from feeding that cat. It's so close, I can taste it. And the cat can taste it too, and it is gonna start getting very loud and very insistent. If you have a cat, you know that we need to hit this incentive.
Okay, so coming into this fight, I'm going to do something a bit weird. We still have the Cursed Mugetsu we used on Arisa equipped, but I'm going to just instead equip a new one. And the reason for that is going to become clear at the end of this chapter.
So sorry to jump in. We're feeding that cat, baby. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Twitch chat. Thank you, everyone.
Beautiful. All right, so main guy here is also a sidestepper. Oh, you had to do that, didn't you? So we are going to hit him with the sword. And that is, that can be very difficult because we start this fight without heat since it's the beginning of a chapter. Okay, fine, that was pretty good. So yeah, we can get knocked down, but we were actually doing okay there. These are Snake Follower Triad guys, as you can tell by the way they get up when I do the full combo on them. And yeah, they are not grouping up, which is a bit unfortunate, but they're not too badly behaved. This isn't definitely not the worst this fight has gone for me. All right, 1 more guy to take care of. I'm just going to do full combos here because they are a bit better when you don't have to worry about knocking enemies down. All right, good stuff. And now another one of those moments where this game teleports us back. In Kiwami, we would have to walk back to Jewel, which is very nice. And what's going to happen here is basically we're going to take this fake passport back to Shine. And the woman there, Shinmei, is going to confess that she doesn't have what we asked her to get us, which is a membership card to Shangri-La, the place where the final set piece of the chapter is going to take place. Kiri, being a good guy, will let her keep it, and she will give us a tip that one of her former customers might have a pass. And we will go over to him. He will ask us for 500,000 yen for it, but we will talk him down to 300,000, which is very fortunate because that's about all we have. And that's going to be the rest of the chapter until we get to the set piece. So until we get there, we can have more donations.
You got it. We have $25 from the Obitarian.
Oh, no.
Who says, rocking the hottest cheetah sweater since 1988. We also have $10 from Cody C95, who says, in memory of that Jack who fought cancer valiantly, avid fan of games like Yakuza and Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. What an encouraging and positive human being he was. We carry on the life you led forever, Jackson. As he so often said, much love. Thank you, Cody. Much love to you. Thank you so much.
I should, that was very touching. I should clarify the eye roll was on the NPC interaction I got, not on that donation message. That's something that started happening recently. It's like sometimes if you bump into an NPC, it slows you down just enough to get that interaction. But yeah, sorry, keep going.
A sure thing. We have $25 from Paul and Tabby, who says, we've been watching GDQ events for 10 years and always look forward to it. Even our young children get excited about our week-long family watch parties. Keep that fun coming. Thank you so much, Paul, Tabby, and the kids. Thank you to everyone out there watching. Thank you to everyone out there donating to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. We have a $50 anonymous donation. They say, love being able to support the Prevent Cancer Foundation. I lost someone dear to me to cancer last year, and one of my coworkers is fighting cancer again. For all of those out there battling cancer and those who support them, my heart goes out to you. And of course, OMG, that Chocobo plush is adorable. And don't forget, folks, a bunch of those prizes, including that giant Chocobo plush, if you want to be in the running to win those prizes, you've got till the end of this run. We've got a giant Chocobo plush, but don't forget about that Korok beanie, that incredible Horizon Forbidden West art. Time is running out on those, so make sure to get your donations in now.
I just want to point out real quick, talking to Date from Beyond That Railing is actually something I found, and it saves a whole half a second, so... every little thing helps. We can keep going for like 2-3 more donations.
You got it. We have so many. We've got $10 from Danny, who says trans rights. We have $25 from Leora, who says trans rights. We also have $50 from the Wagner family. They say, so excited for AGDQ time again. It was a rough finish to our 2024, but starting the new year by seeing this amazing community come together for such a great cause is truly uplifting. Thanks to all the staff, runners, and chat for making this event such an uplifting beacon. Less than 3. Well, Wagner family, thank you for being part of that uplifting beacon.
Navigating through Shangri-La here is, I think, one of the more challenging parts when you start learning this run or Kiwami. The good thing is the layout is exactly the same, so if you know it for one of the runs, you know it for the other. A lot of things actually, obviously not the combat system itself, but a lot of knowledge actually transfers between the 2 runs. So if you've ever wanted to pick up OG1 or Kiwami, this is a really good time to pick up Kiwami. I am a tiny bit biased. I do really, really love Kiwami. I joke a lot about this game, but this is honestly a really fun run. I do really enjoy running this game. Yeah, if you're interested in picking up a Yakuza game as a speedrun, there are many, many good options.
Like Dead Souls.
Well, sure, if that's your thing. But yeah, we have a bit more time until the Majima fight, so I think we can sneak in one more donation.
You got it. We have $5 from Facehole, who says, sir, I do not want to alarm you, but your face appears to be on fire. Hi from the back couch.
Nice. All right, so this fight right here with Majima, why did I switch swords already? That was a very bad idea. Luckily, I didn't get grabbed. All right, so I also really like this Majima strat. So Majima, again, he is very, very mobile. He's really good at dodging your attacks. So we're going to start by just throwing our sword in his face. Pick up this pole, throw it away, and hopefully I'll time this correctly. Nice. All right, so now we got him in the stun lock, and we should be good. I've regretted saying that before. All right, nice. So first phase, very good. Now, for the second phase, I'm going to throw the sword at him again, but the timing here is kind of sensitive. Hopefully I get it. Oh, he just iframed through it completely. All right, that's fine. Nice. Okay, we got him the old-fashioned way. And okay, now I'm simply going to keep comboing him until it is done. And that is Chapter 11. Okay, so yeah, the next chapter, chapter 12, has a lot of cutscene skips to it. So we have time for like a good 2-3 donations before the next fight.
Sure thing. I am so proud of everyone for feeding the cat, but don't forget, we still have that other Shenmue incentive open for the motorcycle chicken race. Right now, we've got $750 on that $7,500 goal. We're making progress, though. We've got $100 from Kenners, who says, we're gonna feed the cat, so now we gotta race the chicken? Yeah, that is the natural progression. I don't know why you're confused. It makes sense to me. We also have $15 from About 12 Kittens, who says, I lost my cat Chai Chai last June to bladder cancer, and I miss her so much. Here's a little bit towards beating cancer once and for all. I was gonna donate towards feeding the cat, but I guess the motorcycle race will have to do. Thank you so much.
Okay, so for this next fight, we're actually not going to use the knuckles at all because Froob was talking about the spin move, which is bound to circle when you have the knuckles on, which means that when you have the knuckles on, you can't grab enemies and you can't hold weapons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the rest of the Cursed Mugetsu I have, and I'm going to just build up heat off of the small guys here and the big guys with lots of HP. I'm just going, no, don't knock me down. All right, thanks. And the big guys, can you stop doing that? Thank you. The big guys, I'm just going to throw off the boat. Notice that I'm not throwing them to the water. They just kind of give up. Like, I just send them down, and they're like, I can't be bothered to keep doing this. Which, you know, fair enough. Please, sir. Okay, nice. Now, these guys left don't have a lot of HP, so now I am going to equip the knuckles because we are going to need them for the fight coming up. And this was actually a pretty good boat fight.
Yeah.
Cool. And now, for already the last fight of the chapter, it's our old friend Shimano. He's back. Shimano 2 is like Shimano 1, but way, way more annoying because he's got a lot of guys with him. So I'm going to try and hopefully just get gut punches off here. As you can see, the beautiful targeting system will get in my way. Hopefully we can make do. There is a special move that Shimano can only do in this fight, which I call getting Ubered. I didn't come up with that one. You might see what that means, but hopefully not. So yeah, I'm just going to hopefully keep gut punching him without getting interrupted too much. Angel Bell doing some good work here. Yeah, this is going well so far. At this point, he drops his sword, and this is the really dangerous part, because this is when he can start grabbing you. In the current world record, I lose like a good 45 seconds in this fight to getting constantly grabbed. Just really, really bad RNG. And you can use the spin to avoid getting grabbed, but if he does it too many times, then, you know, you only have 5 spins, and we do really still need the knuckles for the rest of this run. But I think this was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
A bit more blocking than I would have liked, but yeah, that takes care of Shimano. That's chapter 12, which brings us to the finale. This is the last chapter of the run. And it is pretty cool. So right here, we're going to get 300,000 yen from Yuya. Thanks, that could have been really useful earlier. We will actually use it because, like I said, we don't have quite enough points for one more bout of Cursed Mugetsu. And the money Yuya gives us here is going to be useful for that. Other than that, yeah, let's hear one more donation before the Tenkaichi fights begin.
Sure thing. We have $25 from Nick O, who says, very excited to see a game that features a motorcycle riding chicken. It's important to remind everyone watching that if you see a chicken, it wants nothing more than to hit the highway and feel the wind in its feathers. I've always secretly suspected that about chickens, so it's nice to have that confirmed.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So this fight here is interesting in that we're getting some sidesteppers who are regular enemies. We've seen a few of these already, but most of the sidesteppers we've encountered so far have been bosses. Another thing is this fight consists of 3 waves of enemies. Oh no, I have the sidestepper left alone. Oh, that was actually pretty good. And yeah, you actually want to despawn the previous wave completely before the next wave can spawn in. And one way of making sure that happens a bit faster is to scroll those enemies off screen. So once everyone is down, you'll see me move the camera in a way that all those guys are off screen. And that just speeds it up a little bit. Oh, I had to go really into the corner to make that happen. Now, this is the last group before the cutscene, and they have a big boy with them. This guy, not only is he a sidestepper, he's also just a very, very rude guy. He has, killed, I wouldn't say killed, but he's caused many time losses in his time. We also have a stun gun guy. Ooh, he was about to get me. That would have been bad. Oh, please don't tase me. All right, cool. Now we can deal with the main guy himself. So I'm, incredible timing. What a gamer. Oh, he's stun locking me now. Beautiful. This was definitely going too well. Okay, at least we got the stun lock back on quickly. The thing with OG1 to remember is something horrible will happen. It's just the nature of the game. You just need to have your head on to deal with it, which, yeah, I think we're doing okay. Nice. Okay, so right here, this is going to be the last Tenkaichi fight after the cutscene. Right away, I'm going to use a heat move on the big boy right here. If the game allows me to, which it doesn't always do. All right, cool. As you can see, that takes almost half his HP down, which is very nice. No, I don't have the knuckles on. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking about before. You can just get completely stun-locked. Luckily, the taser has limited uses, so we eventually got out of that stun lock, but that was still very unfortunate. The gun guys, interestingly, guns don't do a lot of damage in this game. Unlike the sequel, Yakuza 2, where they do a lot of damage. So yeah, they're more like BB guns in this game, but they can still interrupt your combos from afar, which is very aggravating. And yeah, that's the Tenkaichi fights. So after this, we are going to get a couple more fight skips. So there's a fight right ahead of us. I'm actually going to duck into Supon Street, so we can actually avoid it, because that guy... Oh, no way.
You can see how far away they can grab you. It's ridiculous.
Oh, that was a big... Yes. Oh, that's unfortunate.
I thought you did that on purpose to give us time to hear some of these
Absolutely,
donations, right?
I did that on purpose. We
talked about this
I would
beforehand.
never make a mistake.
You just knew this fight was coming so you could hand over for a donation real quick,
Absolutely.
right?
Exactly.
Can we get some donations, please?
Donations like $500 from Cool Bassoon. I don't know why I said bassoon, like I've never seen or heard that word before. Who says, love cats, thanks PCF, thanks GDQ. And thank you, I'm sorry I can't say the word bassoon.
And yeah, so there's only one fight skip in this entire part, not two. After beating this guy, we're going to have to take a slightly different path to the gambling house to get our last bunch of cursed Mugetsu. Because if you look to the right, there's a black car in the middle of the road, right here, and to the right of it is a guy in a suit. That is also a very nasty fight spawn. And yeah, right down here, we're going to get into the gambling house and get our last bit of cursed Mugetsu. So we have time for, I believe, 2 more donations.
Sure thing. We have $50 from an anonymous watcher. They say, coming down with a cold has never been so much fun. Thanks, GDQ, for keeping me and my girlfriend entertained while we spend all day solving jigsaw puzzles. Love you, Sam. Hope we can make this a yearly tradition, less than 3. I'm sorry you have a cold, but thank you so much for the donation. We also have $10 from Tiff, who says AGDQ is the most comforting thing to keep running in the background while I'm working remotely or just chilling at home. Thanks for the amazing company and fantastic runs. Trans rights are human rights, less than 3.
Oh, we got the bad fight spawn, 7-second time loss, let's go! And right here, once I go down these stairs, this will initiate the first half of the finale set piece. Right away, there's going to be a whole bunch of sidesteppers right in front of us, and I found that the best way to deal with these guys is to just start your combo from far away, because it's not close enough to them, they think it's not dangerous, so they kind of just let you do it. And yes, only got one of them, which is a bit of a problem. Please stop doing that, sir. Look at that guy. See, this is why you want to, this is why you want to get these guys early on, because they can really just go completely off the reservation. Look how far he is from the rest of the guys. Oh, that is unfortunate. Please, sir, please. I'm in a marathon. You're being very embarrassing right now. Okay, finally. Now to deal with the 2 gun guys. 1 combo should do it. Nice. And once I go up here, this next wave spawns right in front of us. You can see these guys on the left. And hopefully by moving this way, they will go into a position where it's much easier to deal with them later on. If I'm lucky, it is not fully consistent because this is OG1 and nothing is. So yeah, we have got this big boy right here, and there's another one on the other side. All right, cool. Couple more gut punches. They would have been... That cutscene has a really nasty habit of interrupting the gut punch combos just as the gut punch is going to come in, which is very nice. All right, we got one guy in a good position. Where are the other three? They are in a bad position. Nice. Oh, I'm in critical health already. That is not very good. I should probably heal right here after these guys. Okay, nice. We've got one wave of... the camera, please. Oh my god. We've got one wave of enemies left to deal with here. I'm just gonna quickly use up my healing items over there. We've got more sidesteppers, more gun guys. Really, you want to get rid of the gun guys earlier because they don't have to approach you to attack you. So it's generally, if you skip them and attack these guys instead, they will just shoot you instead of approaching. No, Kiryu, why'd you change targets again? That is very bad. They're being very, very badly behaved. Okay, that's fine. And that's the end of the first part of the finale. So coming up, we have part 2, but we have a little bit of time before that, so I think we can work in 2 donations, potentially.
You got it. We have $5 from Saki Nikaido, who says, did someone say chicken races? I did, and I'll continue saying it, because we are now over $1,000 on our way to that $7,500 chicken race incentive. Thank you so much to everyone getting their donations in for that. We've got $50 from Byrne, who says, thanks to all the runners and the HGTQ staff for putting on this awesome event for a great cause. Well, thank you to you and all the donators for making this great event possible and raising so much money for this great cause.
Absolutely. Now, these guys, ooh, okay, they're coming in. That's nice. Not much to say about this fight, except for the fact that the big boy, who has still not approached to get his beating, has the Hayashi spin counter, which we may get to see just yet. But this is also one place where I will sometimes use the spin, because sometimes this guy can get very rebellious. But no, that was good. All right. And now we're actually in the final boss rush. We are going to deal with Jingu and with Nishiki. So Jingu right here is going to have a whole bunch of goons around. So we're going to have to deal with them first. I'm going to go to the left, and hopefully I don't get knocked down by those guys. Okay, oh, all right. I got shot, but I didn't get knocked down. Sometimes they will both shoot you at the same time, and the force of that is enough to knock Kiryu to the ground. Luckily, that didn't happen. Okay, good stuff. Now I just need to get rid of the 2 guys in the shades, and we will have time to deal with Jingu. Nice. All right, pull out the Cursed Mugetsu as usual, and hopefully I can work Jingu to the other side of the lawn. All right, didn't quite get him, but that's fine. We're just going to have to deal with these guys and then walk over the old-fashioned way. Oh. All right. This fight, by the way, this you'll notice this has 2 gun guys, 1 guy with a knife, and 1 regular enemy. Players people who've played Yakuza 2 will notice that this is the same exact composition of the boss fight at the end of Shangri-La set piece in that game. The thing is, in OG2, guns are way, way worse. They do a lot of damage, and enemies with guns move very, very quickly. So they basically decided to take that fight and just make it way, way more deadly in that game, which is lovely for people who run OG2. Okay, so this is the final encounter with Jingu. Basically, the 2 sergeants he has, the colonels I think he has with him, they're the only problem here because they can interrupt our combos, but this is looking good so far. Okay. Yes. Oh, no. Okay, at least they didn't actually do the QTE, which would have been really bad. Okay, that was a decent Jingu. And now we're coming to the final boss. So yeah, this is Nishiki, and I should say ahead of time, time will be on the last hit on Nishiki. I will let you know when that happens. The Nishiki fight is going to start like most of our boss fights. I'm going to use the Cursed Mugetsu. I'm going to preempt him with a heavy attack, and now just use combos to get him to his next phase. And something weird is going to happen that I'm going to let the couch explain because I should focus on this.
Yeah, so you'll see that Nishiki has a red glow around him. His aura gives him some wild hyper armor. So you're going to see at some point, like right now, BigNoNo's attacks are hitting Nishiki, and Nishiki doesn't care. Unfortunately, again, with the grab, this triggers this really long QT that can happen, and more unfortunately, it drops the sword. Nishiki picked up the sword. That's very unfortunate.
That's my sword, Nishiki.
We have a wild fight going on, and there's the sword now on the floor again if we need it. So, yeah, every single boss, like in OG1 and OG2, like the endgame bosses can actually like pick up and use your weapons against you. They actually like do have like actual movesets. And yeah, unfortunately, as you can see, with Nishiki's hyper armor and his aggression, he can just go wild. Now, hopefully, this should be in 2 more hits.
Time.
That was a little scary for a second there.
Classic OG1 Nishiki. Oh my god, what was the final damage? 157. With that fight spawn, that's not too bad. Oh man. All right, so we did hit the Amon incentive, so let's go directly to that. I do need to use my other controller for this, because I'm going to just quit the game and load back in. It's faster because one of the cutscenes in this game is not skippable. So we would have to watch through it, so it's faster to just quit out and go back in.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you get to miss the amazing rendition of, is it Silent Night in this game or Amazing Grace?
You tell me, you're the Silent Night runner.
Oh, right, it's Amazing Grace, of course it is.
Amazing
oh, my God.
Froob runs like, what is it, 5 games that have Amazing Grace in the credits?
This, K1, Gaiden, Deadly Premonition 2. At least Deadly Premonition 2 is a jazz version, that's cool.
Oh, sorry, my bad. So for those who don't know, Amon is the classic super boss of the Yakuza games. Typically, you have to do all the sub-stories in the game, essentially all the side quests, in order to get him to appear. Sometimes you have to do additional stuff on top of that. And yeah, he's supposed to test your ability to cheese the game. And luckily, as speedrunners, we can definitely cheese the game, which you are going to see me do right here. Now, you may already have a guess as to how we deal with a super boss, very similar to how we deal with other bosses, which is using the Cursed Mugetsu. So right here, I'm going to talk to Amon, and you can start time on this, by the way, sorry. Yeah, so the challenge here is to get the stun lock on Amon started. Luckily, he just kind of sat there and let us do it. So basically, I'm going to just do the Cursed Mugetsu stun lock on Amon until he hits 0 HP. Now, the thing here is we got the flip. Okay, that's fine. We got it. All right. This is a bit sketchy. Please, no, please don't do that. Thank you. All right, so he's going to get to 0 HP. Now, the thing is, between his phases, you can't do damage to him, but you can just keep hitting him and keep him in the stun lock. So even though he has additional phases, we don't actually need to set up the Cursed Mugetsu stun lock again. We can just keep wailing on him through all the phases. The only reason why I might need to do anything extra here is, again, if we just lose that. What is that?
How is he?
Okay, mark your bingo cards. This has never happened before. I have no idea what that was, but we got out of it, so...
It's almost like he was like forcing himself to loop himself back up, and because he wasn't up, he just kept doing it.
Yeah, that was very strange. Okay, he's getting out of the stun lock way more than I would like. He's countering us as well.
Yeah.
He's got, in this game, all the Kamaki moves. He can actually Tiger Drops us. All right, so this isn't quite... He's getting out of the stun lock a lot, but we're fine. Oh, man. This is what I was mentioning before about how the Cursed Mugetsu stun lock kind of depends on terrain. And specifically, if you get him to a different elevation, sometimes it will reset the stun lock. But yeah, I think we're going to be good. And time is once again going to be on the final hit. And time. So yeah, that is OG1 and that is Amon. I've been BigNoNo. I am going to run this game a bit more once I get back home after GDQ, because I do want to get rid of that really big time loss after Shimano. And yeah, after this, I'm going to go to Kiwami again, going to go to the remake. You know, the version of this that they finished making. Anything else you want to say before we close down?
GG.
Yeah, GG, thanks for having me.
Yes, thanks everyone. Thanks GDQ for accepting this very special, very beautiful game. And yeah, thanks to all the Yakuza speedrunning community for all the support. Have a great rest of GDQ.